go?
Yeah, go for it, yeah.
Cool. We'll go for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back to another episode of Rec Talk. I'm your host, Nitin Sharma, coming to you live from the 2025 Team Conference. Today I've got Kim from 3R and John from, I don't know the name of the business, it's your business.
INEO Consulting.
INEO Consulting,
Yeah.
there you go.
Been around for 10 years, so shocking that you don't know, but
That's
now you
bad.
do.
That's
I've been
Now
around
you
for
do.
40, you didn't know me until last week.
That's true, that's true. That's what it's all about, right? This is what this is all
Exactly,
about. So,
exactly.
yeah, good stuff.
So this episode's going to be about all the noise that's out there at the minute. The recruitment tech noise, the AI, automation, sequencing and all that sort of stuff. You guys are pretty well positioned to be able to talk about this given what you guys do, but do you want to give a bit of an intro as to who you are and what you do so that
Yeah.
we've got a bit of context?
You want to go, Kim?
Yeah, thank you. So I'm Kim Diath. We know each other from many, many years ago of working together. I am a director at 3R and we run back office and finance for recruitment agencies, mostly within STEM sectors and obviously with a contract sort of heavier focus.
Yeah, because that makes more money, right?
There you go. John Egan, I'm a technology for recruiters sort of consultant, help people navigate through this minefield that we're about to go into around not just recruitment technology, but the whole sort of stack. Their training, if there is any, trying to tie that into their sales training, data cleansing, business process mapping, like all the good stuff, like just trying to get efficiency, optimization of everything, be that tech, data, or the way people are using their systems. And people come to me when they're sort of in a bit of a bind and wanting to, their projects are stagnating or their tech's not giving them the sort of, dare I say it, the ROI that they were set out to achieve. And been doing it 10 years, worked with 150 different recruiters way back in the day from Microdebt Profile. I've now worked with about 50 different recruitment technologies. So yeah, there's more and more of them out there, but that's what we're talking about, right?
There's this explosion in RegTech right now, right? And I don't know, from where I'm sitting, it kind of feels a bit like a combination of people just jumping on bandwagons, you know?
Yeah.
AI is the buzzword. A lot of the recruiters that I'm speaking to are like, what's the best AI tool out there? And I'm like, if you're asking that question, you are not ready for like this journey that you're trying to go on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you guys seeing in that space at the minute?
I just think that, like you say, there's a lot of tech out there, isn't there? And I think you've really got to spend time, and I know you're going to go into this as well. I think spend time in making sure you are clear on what you need within your business, what data you
100%.
need to analyse, what's important to you, what's going to drive it forward, and then ensuring that you've got those core pieces of technology within the business that are going to give you the efficiency and drive the business forward. And obviously what I'm involved with recruitment agencies is that back office side of things. So, you know, everything from credit checking and invoicing, timesheets, you know, collecting payments and credit control. It's, you
Even
know,
in that space, there's a lot of tech now.
Yeah,
And a lot of alternative options out there, right?
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
must get inundated with people asking like, oh, should I be automating this? Should I be, you know, moving to this timesheets and, you know, do you know what I mean? Software and whatever.
I think I don't hear quite so much of that because people are typically really happy with the product that they're using with us. Nice. But, you know,
I love
they are. It's like, you know, we've got really
We're just really good at what we do.
we're just nailing it.
Say as it
But,
is.
You know, it's about getting those core pieces of tech nailed on, you know, the
So John,
fundamental
how many of 3R
pieces.
customers have come to you and been like, mate,
I was talking to Kim on the way up because,
Yeah.
she was on the way up and on the phone. I said, "Kim, what are we going to do here? Because we need to be prepared here. Like, Nitin's going to sort of corner us and ask some tough
It's going to
questions."
grill us on the pod.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no. So we haven't actually had any business, but we will, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Because in your space, right? This is what I was saying. Is like recruiters have big finance teams. And they're generally like the last ones to shift their tech. Like the sales tech changes a lot. And again, I think some suppliers aren't even getting a voice, which is a sad thing. is because other people, are
making
dominating
so
the
much
market, or
noise.
they're better at marketing, but actually their solution might be better for a certain recruiter. But because there's so much noise, and that's what I'm trying to do, is like distill that down a bit, and like let's get to like what you were saying, Kim, is like get to the root problems, then worry about the tech, then worry about the data, like understand your outcomes you want and how you're going to achieve them.
That's the key. Yeah.
Not the tech,
to be
not the tech.
We need to be
It's
looking
not-
at
yeah.
what's the outcome you're looking to achieve,
Exactly.
and to get to that outcome, you might need a combination of different tech, or using the system you've currently got in a different way, or actually that's a manual process and that will always remain a manual process.
Or it's a mindset thing, just internally in the business. You could go and get the best tech for your business, or get your data enriched by whatever tool. But if you're not changing your mindset or your appetite, or you don't have I talk about like a metaphor for fitness, right? If you just start fitness by I want to get fit, 6 months later you might be a little bit better, but you don't end up being fit.
No.
If you set out goals and say, I want to lose £2 a week, like not a week, that'd be quite hard eventually, but
quite a lot,
yeah,
but
let's say
yeah.
£2 a month or whatever it is, right? That's your goal, and you can give up 4 hours a week to fitness that's going to
Commit
get
to
you
that,
there, and you're going to do X,
Yeah.
Y, and Z with your nutrition. Set out a plan, and I just sort of say that's how you got to treat all this technology and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Not the new technology that's the new fad diet or the new thing that people are doing. Like, just stick to your plan and do the small things. Get some confidence, build that confidence, and then you can go on to do something else. I think everybody's looking for that. How many presentations you see about the silver bullet?
Yeah.
Right?
They all want
It's not.
right,
Yeah, the magic pill
Do
kind
you
of
guys
thing.
not get? Do you guys, as a back office business like him, not feel the pressure to look at kind of tech and your processes and see like, surely there's ways that we could make this more efficient, less mistakes, that kind of thing,
Of
right?
course, yeah, definitely. So we've got a business analyst within the business. We've got our own in-house dev team. So we're always analysing what we're doing and how we're doing it, whether there are any more efficiencies we can bring in. We're investigating and looking to AI at the moment and how we can automate certain admin parts of the back office process for us and for our clients to make it quicker and faster. So yeah, definitely, any business that has technology at its core is always going to be evolving, or it needs to always be questioning it and challenging it, and going out externally to clients as well and finding out what it is, what outcomes they're looking for, which is
Do
what
you think
were
that's a
talking
benefit
about.
as well, though, for you? Like, same for me, because your guys get exposure to multiple businesses.
Yeah.
They can advise better,
you've got
maybe than
that
being
view
in the one business. Like finance
Absolutely,
resources,
yeah.
just in one business.
Yeah.
They only get that one sort of lens on the world.
Definitely.
And, so
and you can't shy away from the relationship aspect of it. If you don't have decent relationships with your clients, you're not going to get this feedback, you're not going to capture it, you're not going to care to bother even engaging with them to get it. So I
But this
think
comes back to that transactional approach, right? If all you're doing is providing a transactional service, well, that can be automated and be replaced by AI very quickly.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
relationship
yeah.
piece can't,
Yeah.
right?
And
And that's where I will die on this hill, but I think the SaaS model is dead. I don't think
Yeah, you said that
SaaS has a future in recruitment, which is controversial because you've got people that I respect highly, like your Donna Owens of the world and Alex Elliott's of the world, who sit at the expo and say, here's how to sell recruitment as a SaaS product. And I'm like, SaaS is dead. Like, we're in a results as a service world now. People want to drive results. People want outcome-based approach. So your job as a back office solutions provider is no longer to say, here's option 1, 2, and 3, which one do you want? It's, well, what do you want? What do
Yeah.
you want to achieve?
Where are you going?
I'm currently using this particular software, this accountancy firm, this
Yeah.
thing here, and here's what I'm doing. Okay, and where's
Yeah.
the issues here?
Yeah.
Well, the issues are this takes too long, that's always wrong, these guys never answer the phone.
definitely.
And what's the outcome you're trying to achieve? Well, I'm trying to achieve a nice, slick, smooth process.
Yeah.
the
All right,
SaaS models as well.
we'll do that.
Conveyor
Yeah.
belt. They force a conveyor belt sort of
Yeah.
motion, but recruitment businesses, although a lot of them are doing the same things, they're not. They have intricacies that are different, right? So you.
Every role that you work on, every client that you're dealing with, every end client process is different.
Yeah.
You have to you have to be able to flex and be adaptable to that, and it's a people-led business, isn't it? It's built on relationships that will never go away.
Yeah.
You need that throughout your entire supply chain. You have
Yeah.
to have that with your providers of your tech. And I often have those kinds of conversations, Nitin. I'm using this CRM, I'm using this. How do you fit into that? Where does it go? And this is how we work with our accountants. And we're really need to pivot and move with the clients and what they're doing and where they want to go.
What you said the other day to me inspired me a bit. Nitin was talking about how us three here, right? Sorry, that's a bit of a plug.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm sorry, that's a bit solar. Take that. He was basically saying the old days of tradespeople. If you had a plumber, I think your dad was saying this to you, right? Then a plumber knew a brickie who would help him build the bricks while he did his plumbing.
Yeah.
And it's the same,
Yeah.
there with the
Working
suppliers,
on
right?
Working on favours.
It's partnerships, isn't it? Referrals.
But if you guys do the back
value.
office, then you can you get questions about tech. Maybe you say speak to John.
Yeah.
Then somebody comes to me about back office. I say speak to you, and then you go, oh, I want to talk about my business and I want a voice. Oh, have you heard of Nitin? And then everybody's suddenly there's relationships. The suppliers. I think what's harsh on the suppliers that I hear quite a bit is that this supplier didn't tell us that, or we didn't get any customer success, or firstly, did you ask them?
Well, there's memes, right? There's memes in that SaaS world of my role as a customer success manager is to basically tell you the truth about all the things you were lied about. You know what I mean? That's an ongoing meme of we were told this. Yeah, that's not true. We were told this. That's not true either. So it's that's a done thing. But we're in a world now where, as I said, you work on favours, and recruitment businesses should be working on that basis, right?
Yeah.
What's wrong with picking up the phone to your talent acquisition team and saying, do you know what? We've got this bit of automation or a bit of sequencing. Let me tell you about it, because that might help you guys with this.
Yeah.
And then, do you know what? If that helps you out, you'll remember that, that was the guy who told me about. They must be really good. They must be slick.
Yeah.
Because he gave me that bit for free.
Yeah.
He told me that for nothing.
Yeah.
It's productizing. Yeah, see, I'm at a pace now where I think the recruitment sector is going to change massively because of tech and AI and automation and all the rest of it. Mm. But I think where we're kind of heading to is the productization of the recruitment process, and that's where I think tech will come in. Because if I can approach a distressed tech, TA team and say, look, Kim, I've seen you're hiring for this job here.
Yep.
That's our niche, that's what we do, we're really good at it. Mm. And I can see that you've got 400 applications on LinkedIn alone. Mm. For this much as a one-off payment, I'll go through all those applications and give you a long list of 20, of the best 20.
Yeah.
For this much,
productized parts of the recruitment process.
For this much, I'll do video interviews with a lot of them. And I'll transcribe that interview and send you the full copies and tell you who I think the best 5 are.
Yeah.
We're already doing this shit for free. We're speaking to 50 candidates a week, 50 clients a week.
Well, it's like what they said earlier, didn't they?
Yeah.
You send them one CV, but you haven't told them that you had to go through 50 CVs to get to that one, right?
Oh, was that Jeremy's?
Yeah,
Jeremy's one. Yeah, he was touching on that as well. And it is so true,
yeah.
isn't it?
But that's where you use tech, right? So when you think outcome-based approach, you go, listen, the outcome I want is I need to be able to go through 400 applications and find the best ones. Right. Well, actually, there's this AI tech where you feed in the job spec and you feed in the CVs and it will rank it for you based on the parameters that you put in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I need that.
Yeah.
Rather than, this is the next greatest thing that's been released by Bullhorn and you should all buy it. Why?
Yeah.
Well, because you're all on Bullhorn and you all need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then everybody follows it like the sheep, and then they question it 6 months later why did they do it in the first place, and they're led. Yeah,
we're a temp-heavy business, and timesheets are an issue. What would be really good is if actually we had an app, and if that app was like white label to us, that'd be great. Oh, that's the outcome you want. Now I'll go find that solution for you. You know?
Yeah.
And I think as a business like you guys, yes, you're back office, but actually that education piece needs to come from you guys as well, right? To go, let's find out what our customers are lacking and what the outcome they're looking for is.
Yeah.
And maybe we're the ones that bridge that knowledge gap.
Definitely.
During this time of noise.
Yeah, you need to, that is a key driver for us with the business is partnering with agencies, right? We're not just, it's not transactional. We don't just engage with them, give them the tech, and then stand there and watch it happen. Some of it is automated. It's really good at the core, but they need people, and you need conversations, and you need that awareness. And you mentioned it earlier about having that bird's eye view of it, which we have got, and we're able to impart and share and help support businesses, because they might be a 5-man, business.
Bingo.
And needs
That's it.
that insight into it. But they need to be able to have that trusted relationship with a partner that they're dealing with, which I think sometimes you don't get with some tech providers. They don't care enough to
Because
give a
you're
shit
just
about
a number. You're being
recruitment.
treated. It's a SaaS product
Yeah,
that you're buying.
that's it.
You're not buying that brand, that business. You're not buying
The
their
team, the
solution.
people.
No,
No.
you're buying the software as a service.
Yeah.
And the software isn't a person. It doesn't have emotions. It doesn't have feelings.
Yeah.
And it comes with a 3-year commitment.
And more now, different tech is branching out and doing more of what the other bit of
Just so.
tech's doing. So rather than have 8 bits, start to think about how you can have less.
That's a really
Doing
that's
more,
a really key
less
point
doing
as
more.
well. Because
Yeah.
there used to be a point where you could actually diagram out, right, if you're looking for email sequencing and chat automation, that's here. If you're looking for, the resourcing cycle tech, that's all here.
Yeah.
The marketing tech, that's all here.
Interview
And now it's all
scheduling and all
starting
that,
to sort of blend into each other, and it's like, we started off doing this, but now we do this as well, and actually we can do this as well. And you're like, well, now I've got 6 bits of tech that I'm paying for that all kind of do the same thing as each other. But
Or
just
they
slightly differently.
end up will be aimed to tread over each other's toes,
That's
and you're
it.
paying for all of it and locked into long contracts. So you just got to be a bit careful with that, I think. But I just think it's a little bit. For me, it's just a little bit backwards at the moment. Everybody's looking to see what tech can do to get them ahead of the competition, but is it losing that personalized bit? Like the bit the humans can control is that personal bit, right? The relationships with the clients and the candidates. The tech should free up, and everyone talks about the admin side of it, but the tech should free up the admin, right? So that the people, the relationships can be stronger. And I strongly believe that's what all of this should be about, right? Like, people shouldn't be bogged down at Kim in your world. They shouldn't be looking at spreadsheets for half a day.
No.
Like, let somebody else do the
Real
heavy
data.
lifting and
Get
just
it
get
in front of you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
strength in you guys as a business, right?
Yeah.
We use you. When I had my recruitment business, you guys were the ones we went with.
Yep. Yep.
And we grew, scaled, and failed it. And
I came to your office.
You did, yes, you did.
Yeah, drove all the way
and
up.
like that sort of stuff.
Did they do as they were told as a client?
No.
They're a good client.
No.
Naughty.
We would take
They were very naughty.
If we could get away
One of
with
them
it,
ones.
we got away with it, right?
Yeah.
We left because they tried to charge us for a CRM. How petty was that?
Yeah, you said.
So petty.
Petty. Because then we left and went to a shit invoice finance provider, and then another shit one, and then we landed with Zodec, who were great, and then we moved again, and it went all Pete Tong. You know what I mean? So actually, I always go, if we'd have stayed with you guys, we probably would have not had to deal with all of that shit. But then that's the point
This is
of
another
dealing
thing,
with
though.
the experts, right?
People are being forced to jump around a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe it was just an extra phone call, like Kim was busy that day or something, and it didn't connect up, or you were just being a real pain in the arse. I don't know. And she was just like, "Let him go, let him go."
No, but that's the thing. Yeah, you can't look.
Sometimes you only live through, you only learn through going through these experiences, don't you? That was your first business of a recruitment business, you know. It was quite early days for us.
Exactly.
As well.
I say this all the time on the podcast, off the podcast. The biggest reason I do this now is because if I knew what I know now back then, my business wouldn't have failed, right? I wouldn't have had to let really good people go.
Yeah.
And if that's my job now, if that's where I kind of fit into the world, is to sort of stop some of these people making those same mistakes by platforming people who know what they're talking about and saying, look, tell them, because I don't know, and I didn't know, you know.
Yeah.
So if that's that's what it takes, then
So now you see it from the other side, don't you? Because that's it. You're speaking to a different recruitment business or supplier every week, so
Every
you're
time,
learning.
And I'm going, it's amazing how much the challenges are the same, and it's amazing how the solution's always so different for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Fundamentally, we all want the same thing. We all want to make a living and keep the doors open, right?
Yeah. And spend time doing what you're there to do, what you're best at, and hiring in experts to take care of the things that you need to do, that you can't do, you can't wear every hat within a
No.
business. You can't do everything. So
A lot
I
of people
think,
say stop working for the business, work on the business,
Yeah.
right? And that again, I think tech can free you from that, but it can also bind you in constant change, constant bringing on new solutions or cleaning data. By the time you've cleansed it, everybody's made it dirty again because you haven't sorted the processes out before you did it. So it just all gets a bit
You end up
backward.
lying to yourself and like creating this fallacy of like, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna automate this and I'm gonna automate that, and you think, well, hang on a minute. The reason you set up is because you're a really good recruiter. The reason your clients like you is because you're a really good recruiter and they like you.
Yeah.
And now you're going to try and replace yourself with an email sequencing and a machine learning
Spray and
AI
pray.
model.
Yeah.
Spray and pray,
Like,
yeah,
make
yeah.
that make sense to me, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
We
Don't
had
work.
I don't know why the industry didn't learn though that we had this with job boards, right? And applications. So you could then through Broadbeans, Idaboos and that sort of stuff, you could like post to multiple places,
Yeah,
right?
multi-posting,
Then you can
yeah.
get loads of applications. Nobody used the traffic light system, so either you dumped every candidate into your database, or you dumped none of them in, and then you just had people top shelving candidates in their own inboxes. Like, come on, guys, we've learned from this. Like,
But we don't.
But we don't.
do we?
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
the problem.
that's it,
We don't
that's
learn.
you just get sold the next shiny bit of tech that has
Yeah.
AI all over it or has this over it. It's
That's
It's
the bit.
tricky.
Yeah, that's the bit that everybody keeps getting caught up in, I think. And you guys must get it right in the. Nobody wants to be left behind. I think that's where we are.
that's
right?
what it is.
Nobody wanted
You want
to
to be in the club, don't you?
recruitment hasn't evolved that much. It is it is a relationship based
Yeah, the job's not changed
job.
really, has it?
It's not.
Yeah, yeah.
The principles of it are still the same. You're there to deliver and find them suitable candidates and
I
build
think if
relationships
you've been in the game
with
long
clients.
enough, you're right.
Yeah.
I think if you joined the industry sort of 2010 to 2014, 15,
Yeah.
you had a false sense of what the industry actually is.
Yeah, possibly.
Because things were really easy then.
yeah.
And you're right, the more things change, more things stay the same. But also, like, I think the industry's changing in that the way recruitment is done is changing.
Yeah.
And the way a business operates is changing.
Yeah.
And I think that's the fear factor, and I think that's what a lot of these guys are worried about. And so I say all the time, like, the role of the supply chain in the recruitment industry right now isn't to sell, it's to educate. They'll buy when they're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be the ones educating, because I'll tell you, the ones that are doing really well right now,
The trusted
they're out there
advisors.
educating. They're giving information away.
7 hours content.
They
That's
are
what it is.
helping
Isn't it?
people out
Yeah.
to make decisions, and when they get to a point where they can't make the decision for themselves, guess what they do? They turn to the guy that got them to this point,
Yeah.
or the girl that got them to that point. You know your market, you know your shit. Can I just pay you to do this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think it's time. It all comes down to time, right?
yeah.
Even in personal world, like you just don't have enough time, so you
Yeah.
just seek the
No, you're right.
quick fix.
Absolutely.
And people, bizarrely though, the quick fix ends up taking longer, so you end up spending more time.
Doing
So
it anyway, yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's it.
like from your recruitment business, right? Like you probably did the same thing, guilty of it, right? Because you're just caught up in the grinder of it. To stop yourself and go, we're going to have a workshop with John or whatever, and he's going to tell us stuff we don't want to hear, truths that we already know, and he's probably got answers that we've already answered ourselves, but it's just about being held accountable. I think that's the difference, and maybe it's the same, Kim, in your world, like on back office. Like once you're accountable and you've got a service that you're paying for that you need to use, I find that's when things start to change.
I think it's important with what you guys do though, as a back office provider, to spend time educating and upskilling these businesses to, in time, learn what it is you do, so that if they ever needed to or wanted to kind of take it away.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
But then
certainly.
what they do is they value what you do more, because it's sort of like, well, actually, when I cost it up,
Once
just
you
makes
break
sense to stay.
break it down, are you hiring 3 people and getting a bank deal and dealing
Yeah.
with all the limitations and everything else and the administration of all of that yourself? Certainly, and I think we do that. We're really open and honest with businesses, and the trajectory of 3R will be that we will evolve our services with businesses as they continue to
Yeah.
scale and grow. Yeah, I'm really happy that we've still got customers that we launched 10 years ago that are still working with us, but there may well come a time where they think, actually, we need to change this up a bit.
Yeah.
We want to do this. And there's an evolution of it, which will come with, you know, hopefully with us working with them still. Or if not, facilitating them and helping them at an agreed point to go and, you know, go out there and do something different.
Is there a transitional bit, Kim, for you? Like, do you have, like, some of the functions, will some of your clients take some, like, hire a
Not
part?
currently. It is a full end-to-end solution,
Okay.
but there are parts that can be altered as they
so
grow.
maybe moving forward, like you say,
it's
like Nitin's saying, like, kind of things are changing, so you're going to have to change up with it.
Definitely.
That's what
It's accepting that there's a level of maturity that businesses will go through.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can either go, okay, our USP is that we make it all easy for you, so all you have to do is bill, we'll do the rest.
Yep.
Well, that's great when you're onboarding a load of newbies, and then you're
Yeah.
walking down the road with them, but at some point they're going to be like, let go of me now, I want to go on my own.
Yeah.
And if you haven't then got a kind of a function that you can then go, well, that's great, you can now graduate into this area.
Yeah.
You're basically going, okay, well, there's a competitive landscape, go and
Yeah.
find someone.
Exactly
Leave them with
that.
something. I think that's
Exactly
it. Like,
that.
especially in IT, like
Yeah.
in my tech world, it was always lights on. Sales was most important, then finance and all that, and tech was just like it keeps the lights on, right? But now I'm finding there's more and more resources internally, and they might not be like the experts yet, like they're junior hires. But that's when, like, you know, I like to go in and I can upskill them. I can work in tandem with those resources or the business and leave them with the skills. I think, like, in years gone by, I would feel a little bit like, well, I'm selling myself. I want to sell my services here. I don't want to give away
my point, though. This
you
is
know.
when I say the SaaS model's dead.
Yeah.
You used to want to go retain me at £1,000 a day for 6 months. I got £1,000 a day out of you for 6 months. Now, if
Yeah.
I can do that 10 times, I'm doing pretty well, right? Now, you go, look, what's the outcome here? Well, look, I've got this junior person. They're really good at this, this, and this. They really don't know this sort of stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
The sale is still the same. Retain me for 6 months at £1,000 a day, but in that
But
time,
now you've got somebody to take
I'm
it on.
going to
Yeah.
make this person more knowledgeable
Exactly.
Yeah.
and impart as much wisdom as I can.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you might only need me for another 4 days next year or later in the year.
Yeah.
It'll still be £1,000 a day.
And worst case,
And
because
they-
you've done it, if they leave, you can fill back in until they find a replacement or create
it
some.
becomes, well, that was really good. What else does he know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What
they'll
else can
come
you help
back
as
to
well?
you. I think you've got to have that value add. You've
Yeah.
got to be able to give that to businesses, haven't you?
Too right.
And impart that and share that, because they're more likely to come back to you. They're more likely to refer to you
Yeah.
and refer you on to others as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, guys, this has been good. We're running short on time.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
incredibly loud.
It's
here.
very
This
loud.
actually
Is it going to
the
come
loudest-
through okay? Are we going to be
It will.
heard? Or?
Yeah, no, I've got a really.
Did we need to get
I've got a
closer to
really
the
I
mic?
good
don't normally have a
software that
problem
can
being
cut out
heard,
the
to be
background,
fair, but sorry, Nitin.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be good.
Okay.
How do people reach out to you? How do they get in touch and demos or like exploration calls, that kind of thing?
Yeah,
Need your chance to plug.
I'm happy to chat to anyone, Nitin. You know me. So, anyone who's interested in anything back office, funding, looking at a better way of doing things, then give me a shout. Happy to talk. Find me on LinkedIn.
Amazing.
Yeah, same. LinkedIn, website, email, phone number. It's all there. But
Lovely.
if somebody's end to end, you're looking to do stuff with your technology. But let's first ask that question: is what's the challenge? What's your challenge? What are you trying to solve?
Love it.
So,
Love
yeah.
it.
Thanks, Nitin.
Thank you very much, guys. That's all from us from another episode of Rec Talk. New episodes drop every Wednesday and every Friday. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and
that's
tell a
right.
friend. And we'll see you again next time. You guys fucking around my mic.
Oh, sorry.